Guys, I didn't think they could do it, but they pulled it off. They made another phenomenal Clone Wars episode, part two of the Siege of Mandalore, and wow, was it a ride! How's it going, everybody? I am the Texas Man. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, hit that bell notification button and select all so you guys don't miss out on any future uploads or streams here on the Texas Man channel. Make sure to head over to Twitch and follow me at Douglas447, and that has no caps, no spaces. So as always, of course, we're going to be talking about Clone Wars. We've got two more episodes left after this, guys. Wow, has it been a roller coaster of a ride? We've had some really good episodes. We've had some doozers. But this episode, Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice, was amazing. I will say, though, I don't think it was as good as I was hoping for, and it definitely wasn't as good as the last episode. This episode, I'm going to talk about positives and negatives, but right off the bat, I want to let you guys know I'm giving this episode a 9.5, 0.5 lower than last week's episode. And the reason being is that I didn't feel as connected emotionally to what was going on. A big problem is that me personally, I've watched Revenge of the Sith. I've seen the original trilogy. I've seen the sequel trilogy. And another big problem about this season in particular is that I've watched all four seasons of Rebels. So I know exactly who lives, who dies. So the tense combat action scenes that were in this episode and what's to come in the last two episodes of this final season of Clone Wars, the emotional stakes kind of are down for me. Like, I have to, unfortunately, while I'm watching these episodes, block out of my mind knowing what's coming. So, yeah, that's a struggle for me. But at the same time, I'm still able to enjoy it because I'm seeing all the pieces come together and figure out, like, why does this person have this moon base? How did these people get that ship? How does this character have these certain colored lightsabers? Why is this person there, but 20 years later they're over here in the galaxy? And seeing all those connections is still fun to watch, even though I kind of know how this last story arc is going to play out. Again, we get another amazing episode, 20 minutes of some of the best story writing and action combat ever in Star Wars. The musical score just went perfectly with whatever was going on in this episode as well. We also find out that Maul ended up telling Ahsoka all about his knowledge of Darth Sidious and that Anakin has been groomed into becoming Darth Vader and that Anakin is going to become Darth Sidious, aka Emperor Palpatine, the Chancellor. Anakin has become that person's new apprentice and eventually Darth Vader. Ahsoka, Rex, and Bo-Katan also learn that Anakin ended up killing Dooku. Of course, we see that in Revenge of the Sith. So this episode is going right alongside the fact of what's happening after the Battle of Coruscant. And so all of our main characters that are on Mandalore learn that Anakin has killed Count Dooku, and Obi-Wan is like, I'm off to Utapau to hunt down General Grievous. And we all know how that turns out. So it's really cool to see this episode just taking place perfectly with this episode 3 events and leading into Order 66. Order 66 does not happen in this episode. My guess is if we get to see it, it'll be either in the next episode or the finale. I don't know if we're actually going to see Order 66 in any capacity. Maybe it'll get mentioned and that'll be what is the main pushing factor of the last two episodes. Who knows? We don't know anything. Even if I knew spoilers, I wouldn't tell you because I want you guys to watch the show. Also, it was really interesting to learn that Maul wanted the war and the siege on Mandalore to happen, and for it to happen for not only Obi-Wan, but for Anakin to come to Mandalore, because Maul wanted to kill Anakin before becoming Darth Vader, more than wanting revenge on Obi-Wan, because Maul wanted to strike a blow against Darth Sidious and make it where Darth Sidious' plans would not be fulfilled because Maul feels betrayed by Darth Sidious not taking Maul back as his apprentice. And we saw that, of course, in season 5 of the Clone Wars show. So Maul is really pissed at Darth Sidious and is wanting to do whatever he can with his wisdom and his manpower of the Mandalorian army to cripple Darth Sidious in any way possible. Also, Maul and Ahsoka are very similar, and I didn't realize it until this episode, is that Maul and Ahsoka kind of have a similar background. Like, they have a similar past. Ahsoka was betrayed by the Jedi Order in the Republic, and she left. Maul got cut in half, didn't get reinstated as Darth Sidious' apprentice, and was left to rot and die. So both of them are really similar, but one is powerful with the dark and the other is powerful in the light. And they cannot work together to accomplish a common goal, which of course leads into the epic Clone Wars lightsaber duel that we've been waiting for a long time to happen between Maul and Ahsoka. And it was fabulous. It was really well done. The choreography was phenomenal. Of course, unfortunately, at the end, Maul is captured. No one dies. But it was also really cool to see and figure out why Maul doesn't have a double-sided lightsaber in Solo. It'll be cool to see how he ends up getting one in Rebels. And also, Ahsoka ends up losing the blue lightsabers that Anakin gave her in the prior episode. So I don't know if she's going to end up getting new lightsabers in the next 2 episodes, or she's going to end up building those Kyber white crystal thingies that we see in Rebels. So it was kind of cool to see how those type of things came to fruition and how things are coming together again. A couple negatives I want to address is that there is no review of the past episode whatsoever. Episode 10, this episode, continues exactly where episode 9 ended. And I said this in my last review for episode 9. The fact that they're saying part 1 and then at the beginning of this episode it's part 2. I get the gut feeling that episode 9, 10, 11, 12 were all supposed to be one episode, one big movie. And I would rather it be like episodes that are taking place, but have them be their own thing. And if Siege of Mandalore is going to be a 2-hour divided up into 4-part episodic adventure, it's kind of weird. Like, I would rather have them just be like, hey, the Siege of Mandalore, 2-hour finale of the Clone Wars show. I'm like, hell, the show started off with a movie in theaters. Why not have it release as a movie to finish off the Clone Wars? It's weird how they're breaking up this film into 4 parts and stretching it so thin. Also, I think it's kind of weird, but I really had a hard time deciding who I wanted to root for. Like, I wanted Ahsoka and Maul to both survive, and they both do. But when Ahsoka and Maul are fighting, not only because I knew both of them were going to live, but I was like, I didn't care if either one lived or died because I kind of wanted both of them to live because I could understand both sides of the coin. And so it was really hard for me to like root for either or. And again, like I said, this is part 2, but how they edited the cutoff point for these episodes so far is really weird. Maul being captured is the end of this episode, and it just ends abruptly. Like, worse than episode 9 ending abruptly. So, yeah, I kind of want this Siege of Mandalorian arc to be a movie, not a 4-part episode thing. I just don't like how they're handling the editing of the Siege of Mandalore. Personal opinion. So, with that, guys, I'm giving episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice, a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have a phenomenal day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. You know, maybe if Maul breaks out and kills a bunch of clones in the next episode, I might give the next episode a 10 out of 10. Fingers crossed that that'll happen, because I don't think he's heading back to Coruscant alive. I might be wrong. Correct me. Bye, guys.